hop on today and share about a little bit of pageant recon that I had the opportunity to do this weekend on our behalf, talking with someone who is well familiar with the Miss America organization, huge fan of the organization, someone who is well respected, has served as a volunteer for years, loved on the organization, served within it, and also judged many a pageant. So from the local level to the state level, regular attendee at the Miss America competition, and just somebody who really knows their stuff when it comes down to competition. So I wanted to ask some questions because you all are still inside the interview room, but as a coach, I can't get inside the interview room. And so I get to listen to your stories on the backside, but I wanted to hear firsthand from someone who has recent and active judging experience and just kind of do a little kibitzing about what they're seeing in terms of what's going well, what we could improve upon as we prepare women to step inside the interview room and into the competitive environment at local, state, and national competition. So in the course of our conversation, first of all, I did not ask this person to name any names or talk about anything that would be considered confidential in nature, but I think it's really important for me as a resource and a mentor to sort of test my knowledge every once in a while and make sure that I'm still really on track in terms of the information that I'm bringing to you. And so really that's what I was doing in this conversation, is I was testing to make sure that what I believe is true is still true inside competition within the Miss America organization. And so I've always been under the impression that it matters not who the young woman is, if she brings the same consistencies that we see to be true in women who are classy, put together, well-spoken, articulate, confident, empowered, the judges will find her and they will select her because they know she can handle the job, she's ready for the responsibility, and they can see her making others feel very comfortable when she walks into a room. She has that special presence, that special air about her. And so are those consistencies still the same? Are they still true from year in and year out? And so the answer that I got was yes. And so I just wanted to share with you some of the things that are consistent among the women across our country, from local to national stages. What are they doing well? And then what are some things that we can help women improve upon? That means you, as we get ready to go into competition. So first of all, I heard that pageant interview, getting to meet you for the first time, that first impression is still a favorite. There's not a phase of competition that this particular judge enjoys more than meeting women inside the interview room. And I would say that that's probably true across the board, because it's so refreshing to be able to hear from you directly and listen to you be able to delineate how you're different and unique compared to your sister contestants. That first impression carries forward. It's not forgotten when you get to stage. The judges are looking for you. They remember you from interview. And especially once you're inside that top 10, they're really watching at the local and at the state level to see whether or not what they saw in interview still rings true in terms of your capability to handle the job and do the job well with what it is that you're bringing to them during on-stage competition. So how well do you handle on-stage interview? Could they see you speaking at an event about your service initiative or about general interest topics? Could they see you approaching the governor or a potential sponsor to bring awareness and support to your program? Can they really see that you're ready to step under the crown for the responsibilities of the job for that year? And so interview is a favorite portion of competition, and one where they're really looking to see who you are and what you're all about. The second thing that was shared was talent will not carry you. So if you are an exceptionally talented young woman in a particular area and you don't do the work that you need to do for interview preparation to prepare yourself to be well-spoken and articulate, we cannot count on our talent score to carry us through anymore. We have to really be working on our ability to communicate both verbally and non-verbally, as well as be able to entertain an audience. This judge also shared with me that this is no secret. We all hear this, but it continues to be true. The judges just want you to be yourself. They don't want to see a facade. They don't want to see you checking all the boxes in terms of, oh, she's done this and that, and wow, she's amazing, and she's got this degree, and she's got, pursuing this career ambition and all of that. But then once they get through the list, there's something that's just not authentic, something that's disingenuous in the presentation, and they want to see the real true version of you, not some contrived version or copycat version. So looking to last year's winner or looking to the national title holder and thinking that you have to remake yourself to be like that individual. They also really want to be able to see that you have the capability of being able to connect with people on more than one level. So not just because you are an academic, or because you are an excellent performer, or because your service initiative is also related to a health condition that you have. They want to see that you're capable of getting down on the floor with kids in a classroom, of being able to interact with seniors in a retirement home or in a retirement community, and they want to see that you're okay with getting all done up with all the glam and carrying yourself with confidence and poise under the crown, all the regalia that comes with being a title holder. So they want to see that you are multifaceted in your abilities to relate to a variety of different kinds of people in a variety of different settings. They like it if you're realistic and down to earth, and believe it or not, they want to see all your quirks. So if you put on your paperwork that you can say the alphabet backwards and that's your unique quirk, don't be surprised if a judge asks you to do it, and you darn well better be able to do it. All right, and then ultimately just a reiteration of, don't try and turn yourself into some version of who the current title holder is or who last year's winner was, because really they're looking for a fresh, new you. They're not looking for a repeat of what was selected for last year's winner. So no pressure there. You just get to be yourself. All right, so then in terms of things that are maybe missing from overall preparation, things that are being overlooked or maybe women are kind of underprepared for when they arrive at competition. So this judge shared that if there's something that comes up for you in interview and you have a personal story about something that you've been through that's difficult and it brings emotion up for you, which obviously you're far more interesting if you are able to communicate on an emotional level. It just creates a different synergy with a panel of judges. That's so important. But at the same time, we need to be able to control the emotion, and sometimes this gets overlooked. So we need to be certain that if we're going to walk inside that interview room, or if we're going to be on stage during on-stage question, or if we're a vocalist and we're singing and there's something that causes a lot of emotion for us, we must be able to maintain a proper bearing so that we don't lose it emotionally as we are talking about these things. It's okay to get a little misty, but we want to leave that ugly cry outside of the interview room, and you want the judges to feel inspired by you as opposed to feeling sorry for you, like, oh my gosh, can I ask her anything more about this, or is this too sensitive of a topic? Then they're wondering if they should have left it alone. And now we don't have something where judges are comfortable, and instead we have a situation where they're feeling uncomfortable both on your behalf and for themselves, because the things have kind of gone sideways with there just being kind of an overwhelm of emotion. So just considering before we step inside the interview room or before we bring something to the stage, are we capable of maintaining our emotional bearing with poise so that we can continue to be comfortable, so that the judges can continue to be comfortable with us, and our audience ultimately is comfortable as well. They really want to hear a story that is couched in hope and possibility and be inspired by you because of the difficulties that you have struggled through and are in the process of overcoming or journeying to overcome. They love those kinds of stories as long as we can maintain the emotion at an appropriate level that's not going to leave us in tears or simply overcome, unable to continue. If a story is emotional, this was something else I found really interesting. They'd love to hear it, but they also want to know that you are able to take that story and share it not only with a group of 5 judges or with an audience at a local pageant, but could you then also take that story to a classroom full of kids? Or would you be able to share that same story with the CEO of a Fortune 500 company? Or would you be able to keynote that same story? So again, looking for your ability to connect with a variety of audiences and making sure that in the telling of your story, you are able to share it in such a way that it resonates with that variety of audience members. The big no-no was anything that's been over rehearsed. So when you get to the point where the emotion has completely devolved into just a rehearsed, static, cold relating of statistics or facts, or even a story that once you allowed some emotion to well up into either your excitement or your passion or your struggle, and now it's just sort of gone cold because you've said it so many times that now it feels robotic and rehearsed, that's a big no-no for judges. They want natural spontaneity and they want authenticity. And then the last thing that I just wanted to share today that came out of this conversation is a good start inside the interview room, developing that synergy, having fun with the judges, enjoying the judges. They know you're nervous. They know you're human. They know that you're walking in, feeling some excitement about, here we go, meeting the judges. They're going to give you a pass if you stumble across a word or say something incorrectly and have to correct yourself. They know you're human. They don't expect perfection. But what they do want to see is how well you handle a recovery and how gracious you can be. And if you do misspeak, if you'll then catch yourself that, I said that wrong. Right? So that they want to be able to see that you have an ease about your communication skills, that you're not afraid to make a mistake, but if you do make one, it's easy for you to get right back on track and you still can retain your confidence in your communication ability. And so they are just encouraging that even if you get into a rough spot, that interview is an opportunity to just have a great kickoff. Hard to recover if things go sideways sometimes, but again, that recovery is what really sets you apart and demonstrates to your judges that you're capable of doing the job. You don't take yourself too seriously, and you can obviously find the humor in the moment or the lightness in the moment where I made a mistake there. And the way that you handle that is so much more important than getting stuck on the fact that you made a mistake or stumbled across something or said something incorrectly or didn't know the answer to something that they were asking you. They're really more interested in how you're going to handle it. So, and finally then with that, they want to make sure that you have a great experience inside the interview room. They're concerned that you come away from that conversation feeling like, wow, I had a great interview. I had a great time with the judges. I'm so glad that I really feel like they dug in and got to know me, and wasn't as bad as maybe I could have imagined that it would be. They want you to be successful. They want you to be successful. They're not looking to intimidate you in any way. They want to know if you can hold your ground and if you'll stand for a position, and they may press a little bit on those kinds of things. But ultimately, the majority of quality live wire judges that will meet you inside of an interview room in the Miss America organization have been carefully selected by your judge's chairperson, and they want the best for you. They love the organization and they love what it does for women, and they want to see what it will do for you and in your life. And so they want you to have a great conversation when you step inside that interview room, and a great experience overall through the pageant experience from beginning to end. And so just knowing that, I think, should set any contestant's mind at ease, knowing that the judges want the best for you through the experience. So just a few tips that I learned this weekend, talking with someone who's very seasoned, very familiar with the program, very familiar with what it's like to sit and mark down a score on paper as young women walk into the room and walk out of the room, walk across the stage, someone who's very well respected. And those were just some comments that were made during the course of our conversation over the weekend. Just wanted to share.